Varnam Tushar Krishnam Sangopangastra Parsadam Yajne Sankirtana Praye Yajanti Hi Sumedhasa. Word by word meaning. Krishna Varna, repeating the syllable Krishna. Tusha, with a luster. Akarshna, not black, golden. Saanga, along with associates. Upanga, servitors. Astra, weapons. Parshadam, confidential companions. Yagye, by sacrifice. Sankirtana praye, consisting chiefly of the congregational chanting. Yajanti, they worship. He certainly. Sumedhasa, intelligent person. Translation is Divine Grace, Srila Prabhupada, Srila Prabhupada ki jai. In the age of Kali, intelligent persons perform congregational chanting to worship the incarnation of Godhead, who constantly sings the names of Krishna. Although his complexion is not blackish, he is Krishna himself. He is accompanied by his associates, servants, weapons, and confidential companions. So this is the 11th, and this was translated, and actually purports were given by Prabhupada's disciples, but they referred it from several contexts where Prabhupada gave the commentaries. So this verse is this same verse is quoted by Krishnadas Kaviraj in the Chaitanya Charitamrita, Adi Leela, chapter 3, verse 52. His divine This text is from Srimad Bhagavatam 11.532. Srila Jiva Goswami has explained this verse in his commentary on that Lord Krishna also appears with a golden complexion. That golden Lord Krishna is Lord Chaitanya, who is worshipped by intelligent man in this age. That is confirmed in Srimad Bhagavatam by Garga Muni, who said that although Krishna was blackish, he also appears in 3 other colors, red, white, and yellow. He exhibited his white and red complexion in the Satya Yuga and Treta ages respectively. Until he appeared as Lord Chaitanya, who is known as Gaur Hari. Srila Jiva Goswami explains that Krishna Varnam means Sri Krishna Chaitanya. Krishna Varna and Krishna Chaitanya are equivalent. The name Krishna appears with both Lord Krishna and Lord Chaitanya Krishna. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is the Supreme Personality of Godhead, but he always engages in describing Krishna, thus enjoying transcendental bliss by chanting and remembering his name and form. Lord Krishna himself appears as Lord Chaitanya to preach the highest gospel. Varnayati means utters or describes. Lord Chaitanya always has the holy name of Krishna and describes it also. And because he is Krishna himself, whoever meets him will automatically chant the holy name of Krishna and later describe it to others. He injects one with the transcendental Krishna consciousness, which merges the chanter in transcendental bliss. In all respect, therefore, he appears before everyone as Krishna, either by personality or by sound. Simply by seeing Lord Chaitanya, one at once remembers Lord Krishna. One may therefore accept him as Vishnu Tattva. In other words, Lord Chaitanya is Lord Krishna himself. Sangopangastra Parshadam further indicates that Lord Chaitanya is Lord Krishna. His body is always decorated with ornaments of sandalwood. For excellent beauty, he subdues all the people of the ages. In other descents, the Lord sometimes used weapons to defeat the demonic, but in this age, the Lord subdues them with his all-attractive figure as Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Srila Jiva Goswami explains that his beauty is his astra or weapon to subdue the demons. Because he is all attractive, it is to be understood that all the demigods lived with him as his companions. His acts were uncommon, his associates wonderful. When he propagates the Sankirtana movement, he attracted many great scholars and acharyas, especially in Bengal and Orissa. Lord Chaitanya is always accompanied by his best associates, Lord Nityananda, Advaita, Gadadhar, and Srivasa. Srila Jiva Goswami cites a verse from Vedic literature that says that there is no necessity of performing sacrificial demonstrations or ceremonial functions. He comments that instead of engaging in such external pompous exhibitions, all people, regardless of caste, color, creed, can assemble together and chant Hare Krishna to worship Lord Chaitanya. Krishna Varna Tusha Krishna indicates that prominence given to the name Krishna. Lord Chaitanya taught Krishna consciousness and chanted the name of Krishna. Therefore, to worship Lord Chaitanya, everyone should together chant the Mahamantra Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. To propagate worship in churches, temples, and mosques is not possible because people have lost interest in that. But everywhere, people can chant Krishna. Thus, worshipping Lord Chaitanya, they can perform the highest activity and fulfill the highest religious purpose of satisfying the Supreme Lord. Srila Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya, a famous disciple of Lord Chaitanya, said, the principle of transcendental devotional service having been lost, Krishna Chaitanya has appeared to deliver again the process of devotion. He is so kind that he is distributing love of Krishna. Everyone should be attracted more and more to his lotus feet, as humming bees are attracted to a lotus flower. Incarnation of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is also described in Sri Vishnu Sahasranama, which appears in chapter 189 of the Dana Dharma Parva of Mahabharata. Srila Jiva Goswami has quoted this reference as follows: Suvarna Varno Hemango Varnanga Chandanvadi. In his early pastimes, he appears as a householder with golden complexion. His limbs are beautiful. His body, smeared with pulp of sandalwood, seems like molten gold. He has also quoted Sannyas Chama Shanta Nishta Santi Parayana. In his later pastimes, he accepts the sannyas order and he is equipoised and peaceful. He is the highest abode of peace and devotion, for he silences the impersonalist non-devotees. So I just put up a few pictures for presentation purpose. So this verse is one of the very essential verse in Gaudiya Vaishnava philosophy, and this is the it's like it is one of those verses which depicts the philosophy we are living by. It clearly indicates that Lord Krishna appears in the golden form in this Kali Yuga, and Chaitanya with the name of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. He is nothing like Krishna takes um, body and Srimati Radharani's complexion and call him Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. So uh, I would like to share a few of the points which I liked and would like to maybe you will also like them. The verse itself. So Prabhupada already gave a very nice explanation of this verse. I'm just adding on to a few of the things, the commentaries by the acharyas and some of the sannyasis in our philosophy. So this verse is so important that in Chaitanya Charitamrita it is referred 3 times. So one of the time I'll just share the story when Chaitanya Mahaprabhu reaches Jagannath Puri, and there he faints looking at the Lord Jagannath. And at that time, um, some of the devotees take him to Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya's ashram. And there, when he reaches there, then there was a conversation happens between the Acharya and Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya. And in, during that conversation, Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya believed that he's just a sannyasi sentimental and just lost his consciousness. But Gopinath Acharya, he mentions that he's not an ordinary person, he is Lord Krishna himself. Upon that conversation, Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya refers a verse from Srimad Bhagavatam in Canto 10 that Lord Krishna can reveal himself only by his. So nobody can understand Krishna without his mercy. So Gopinath Acharya say, yes, that's true, absolutely true. Lord Chaitanya has been my childhood friend. We studied together. I have his mercy, and that's why I can understand him, that he is the Lord himself. But you don't have that mercy. Once you have that mercy, then you would understand. So that's a very nice pastime. At that time, Gopinath Acharya, he refers this verse from the Srimad Bhagavatam. And that is a little eye opener for Sarvam Bhattacharya, and eventually Lord himself reveals him in this form, what I like in 6-hand form in his dream. And after his long conversation, then he realizes and he accepts Lord Krishna as Lord Chaitanya as Lord Krishna himself. So likewise, there are 2 other recitations, 2 other places where in Chaitanya Charitamrita this verse has been referred. Another place is Sarvam Bhattacharya and I mean devotees from Navadvip, they used to visit Jagannath Puri, and when they used to visit Jagannath Puri, Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu becomes so happy and he eagerly waits for them along with Swarup Damodar. And one such occasion, the devotees from Navadvip were about to arrive, and the news goes around that Maharaj Prataparudra heard it, and he wanted to see that commotion of so many devotees coming and greeted by Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. So he arrives to the place Jagannath Puri, and along with that, along with him, Sarvam Bhattacharya was there. From his palace top, he was watching all this, and all the devotees, all the Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's associates, they were dancing so excitedly, so nicely that he was baffled that what is this? And he started inquiring to Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya, what is this? What kind of noise is this? This is so enchanting, so nice. It looks so great. What is it? So at that point, Sarvam Bhattacharya explains him that this is Prema Sankirtan. A Prema Sankirtan is something which is done by the devotees who have the love of God. So at that point, Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya cites this verse and gives him the insight of that Lord Chaitanya is none other than Krishna himself. In this sandarbh, in this particular point, uh, Bhakti Vinod Thakur has given some commentary about it, and he mentions that Lord Chaitanya's Sankirtan was such a nicely organized Sankirtan, like he always have well-defined parties, groups, small cliques who used to do proper management. It's a properly managed Sankirtan, and he mentions that there is always like some of the great kirtaniyas along with that. So that's something I really like, and we should also carry to our activities. Another place this verse is referred in Sanatana Siksha. In Sanatana Siksha, so Lord, when Sanatan Goswami reaches Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, then at that time, um, by Lord's mercy, he explained him a lot of things. At one point, Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was explaining Sanatan Goswami about the various avatars and yuga avatars. In fact, Sanatan Goswami himself asked for that how he understand what is the yuga avatar. And Sanatan Goswami, he was not an ordinary person. He was a very highly educated, he was a prime minister, and he was highly political as well, very well versed in his communication. And so he was pretty smart. And so during these conversations, when he asked how will he understand the Yuga avatar and what are the qualities of the Yuga avatar, well, because Lord Chaitanya was describing all the avatars of his yugas. So at one point, then Lord Chaitanya recites this verse, Krishna Varnam Tucha Krishna. So at that point, Sanatan Goswami asks that, oh, you saying that in the Yuga avatar, the golden complexion, very, very attractive, and that form will appear. Is that right? He was pointing to Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. He wanted him to accept the fact that he is the incarnation of the Lord. But then when Lord heard it, and he said, stop your cunning talks and let's go to the different topic. So he changes the topic at that time. And so at that point, Lord himself recited this verse. So these are very nice, interesting things. Alongside in the Pad itself, Srila Prabhupada has given very nice details about this verse. Okay, so I wanted to share a few things which are like, just give me 1 second. So, so there are few more stories I have. How Krishna, how this verse is very as a Gaudiya Vaishnava, as a ISKCON follower, right? And so there is one instance where this Ballava Bhatta, rather, let's take this story. Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur, let's take this. Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur, he was explaining about this verse in one of his classes, and he cites the reference of Sridhar Swami, who actually appeared even before Chaitanya Mahaprabhu appeared. And Sridhar Swami's commentaries about Srimad Bhagavatam is the first commentary, recorded commentary, and that is considered as one of the more very genuine commentaries of the first time. During his in one of his in commentaries, when he's describing about the various incarnations, and when he comes to the Kali Yuga, that Yuga avatar, he describes vividly that this avatar will appear in Navadvip, and the Lord will appear in a golden complexion, as the verse says, right? And the boy will be playing in the discarded pots. And back in those days, the mud pots used to be there. So mud pot, when you cook it, bottom of the mud pot becomes black, right? Dirty, black. So the boy will be playing with those mud pots, and the black complexion from those bottom parts will be like smeared on his body. That'll make him black. So that's Tushar. So there are a lot of very nice commentary about this verse, and very senior Vaishnavas has explained this. So Krishna, the word Krishna here is defined as Tusha Krishna. Tusha Krishna can be referred as Tusha Krishna or Tusha Akrishna. Akrishna means not black, and Krishna means black. So Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur gave a nice explanation of the black complexion, referred from the Sridhar Swami's commentaries. And in ISKCON followers, Gaudiya Vaishnavas, we take the translation as Akrishna, not black, not any color, right? But then the second part of the verse says that yellow color, right? So that is what the translation we take it for our learning. Another nice story, which is really a little bit funny as well. So Lochan Das Thakur, he has given some descriptions about in the he gave some descriptions, and one point he's describing the descriptions about Narad Muni and Brahmaji. So where Brahma is giving details to Narad Muni about different incarnations. During that, the Narad Brahmaji, he explains to Narad Muni about this verse. He refers this verse and gives the detail about it. Here in this commentary, our acharyas has given the details, like even in even among the great saint, and even in the Swargaloka, anywhere the people are discussing about Lord Krishna and great acharyas. So there is a little funny story about Bhakti Vinod Thakur. Bhakti Vinod Thakur once falls asleep and he wakes up. Then Bhakti Siddhanta Thakur asked him that what happened, you fall asleep. So when he wake up, then he said, oh no, I was just in the Swargaloka. There was some meeting going on and they were asking my opinion. So that's when Bhakti Vinod Thakur gave the explanation of this verse as well. So like those nice stories, these are all explained in the these descriptions given by our acharyas. I felt like reading the purport is one part, but I just want to share these stories as a little different touch to this. And regardless of I may have committed a lot of faults, but there are a lot of important things to talk about in this verse. Let me just go to, I think, few of the important things. Everything is here in this first line actually, and I think we run out of the time now. So Prabhuji, you want me to continue or want to?
You can take a few more minutes, unless
Okay.
somebody has any question or.
Yeah, we can take some questions, or I can describe a few more stories, few more explanations given here, which I found it very interesting.
Go ahead, Prabhu.
So in this verse, this is one of the controversial verse as well. This verse is like the backbone for the Gaudiya Vaishnava, because we prove the incarnation of the Lord Chaitanya as the Krishna himself with this verse. So alongside that, Prabhupada, when he is explaining and referred in many lectures, so some of those references I want to bring to your attention. Prabhupada, whenever he used to refer this verse, he wanted to be very, very clear that nobody has any doubt about it, this verse. And he many times referred Chaitanya Upanishad. Chaitanya Upanishad is one of the secret Upanishad as well. And that also explains the appearance of the Lord Krishna as Lord Chaitanya. And in Bhavishya Purana also there are references where Krishna himself tells Vyasadeva that he will be appearing as Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, as a golden avatar. So, and then in this purports at one point, Gargamuni, this one. So you see this, Prabhupada was also very to refer this particular point as well. In Lord Krishna's name giving ceremony, when they were in that barn, right? The Gargamuni was called in and they were doing a secret name ceremony, right? At that time, Gargamuni, when he sees the Lord Krishna's chart, glorifying Lord Krishna. At that time, he tells Nanda Baba that this boy is not an ordinary person. He actually has appeared before and he will appear in the future as well. At that time, Gargamuni actually gave the reference to this verse as well. So this is the past, like Krishna is there, Krishna's pastimes are going on, and Gargamuni at that time gave the reference to this verse that he will appear again as a Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu in the golden form. He says that he has appeared as red and white, but the yellow incarnation has not happened yet, which will happen in future, which is our Lord Chaitanya Gaur Hari, right? And now I have like a lot of points which I collected about Krishna Varnam and what is Varnam and what is like. So there are so many explanations has been given about Krishna Varnam. Varna is one something like we are like four Varnas, right? That one. So our Kaviraj Goswami is explaining that the one who's speaking Krishna's name all the time, that's Krishna. That's one Varna, meaning of Varna. Varna means like the one who's chanting. Varna means there is sound also, like recitation, Varna. So chanting all the time Krishna's name. So Prabhupada used to say that Krishna Varnam is our, because he is speaking Krishna's name all the time, and that emphasizes that he is Krishna himself, or he is appearance of Krishna, right? So that's how Prabhupada used to explain this. And there are other meanings. Varnam also refers to complexion, right? So Jiva Goswami explains that the one who takes the who's internally blackish but Gaur Varna outside is Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. So Varna is like color also, right? Complexion. And there is another interesting one. Varna means also grammatical process. This is Jiva Goswami. So Jiva Goswami, he was a great scholar, and he used to actually give he has written us the Harinam Vyakarana, and so he gave this meaning of Varna means also the grammatical grammar, basically knowledge of grammar. And in early times of the Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, he used to actually teach Sanskrit grammar to the kids. And that also gives a reference that Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is refers to Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. So there are so many acharyas have given so many explanations about it, that all culminates to Chaitanya Mahaprabhu being the Krishna Varnam. And then Sangopan, this is very nice, like he appears with all the parshats, like his associates, right? And Jiva Goswami explains, like in all the avatars, all the incarnations, Lord comes with different weapons. But in this incarnation, he came with his beauty. His beauty is the weapon. And that was like very clear in his South India trip when he was visiting all the places. People were like just enchanted by his looking, as his glow at his look. Wherever he passed through, just people follow it. Thousands and thousands of people follow him just by looking at his glory, his beauty. So that was his weapon actually. And His Holiness Loknath Maharaj, he gave a lecture on this, and he explains this point in a great extent, that how he uses his beauty as a weapon. So there are more stories I have, but I think we don't have time, so that's okay. If you want to share anything else in this, correct me. I may have done some mistakes in this explanation, but please pardon me. This is really, really very, very important verse. Even the great acharyas take very cautious move in explaining this. But I was given this service, so I just like repeated what I heard from others. Please forgive my mistakes. Thank you, Prabhu. I'm done. If you have any questions and discussion points, we can do that if time allows.
Thank you, Gopal Govinda Prabhu. This is the verse when somebody says about right where is Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's appearance mentioned in Srimad Bhagavatam. This is the verse we should quote. Anybody has any comment or question?
Hare Krishna Prabhu.
Yes.
Extremely interesting class, Prabhu. Lots of anecdotes, lot of stories. It was just so so nice, very really transcendental. Prabhu, I have a question. You mentioned at one point in your lecture that this is a very important verse for the Gauriya Vaishnavas, but it is controversial at the same time. I think I missed the controversy part of it as to what is so controversial about this this verse. Were you referring to the different interpretations of the word varnam, or what is the controversy about that?
Yes, there are different schools of followers, like Nimwark Sampradaya, right? So they don't accept Lord Chaitanya as the incarnation of Lord Krishna, and they treat him as devotees. When you give them the explanation of this verse, they don't accept it. So this, our acharyas have explained that, at the end of it, intelligent persons. Oh, I'm not sharing my screen, sorry. So I can share. You remember the words, right? Do I need to share the screen? Okay, let me share the screen. So this verse, in this verse, there is a he sumedhisa, right? So it's very, very important. Only the intelligent, unfortunate people can understand this secret. In our scriptures, the incarnations are listed well in advance, but these incarnations are like hidden as well, like it's not very evidently clear. So you require a lot of blessings, and you require a lot of Krishna revealing himself to understand that. So that's why it's controversial that not everybody can understand this. So if you meet a Sanskrit philosopher, Sanskrit scholar, then they will give you a different translation of this altogether. That'll just confuse you. That's why it has become controversial. So not only basic scholars, like there's a example has been given that Nimbak Sampradaya, they are very good, they are very nice. They are also Radha Krishna followers, but understand this verse as incarnation of the Lord Krishna.
Thank you, Prabhu.